Mm.
Next one is over here. Oh.
They're here? Shoot.
Are they here?
I need to put my jeans on.
I don't like unreliable people.
I don't either. That's why mine's like, well, it's just the way it is. Well, you know what? I'm trying to plan my freaking day.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
I want to put my jeans on.
It's still freaking solar. He's going home in the car.
Watch you with your car too, when you have time. I think Dad wants to drive with free of cars. Oh. I'll move it. You have your keys, I'll move it for you, buddy. Joel?
Yeah.
Can I have your keys? I'm gonna move your car. I want to adjust it. Are they in here? I didn't see.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Angie. Hi, good morning. Hi, Victoria.
Hello.
Hi. Do you guys
I'm
want to
glad
come in on video?
I saw the email.
When did you get the email?
Literally 10 minutes ago.
Okay, right. Yeah. No, we're definitely having some problems with the invitations. So sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It sounds like it's a first meeting or new initiative?
Right. No, it isn't. But
Not okay.
we've been having some tech problems. So,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah.
It's the first time I was invited. That's why.
Oh,
Oh.
you're kidding me. Oh,
No, no, I'm
wow.
not even sure where the email originated from, what organization, because I was speaking with a few.
Okay, this is Ukraine Now.
Ukraine
And
Now, okay.
yes, yes. So
And
you got
from
an email invitation or what?
yeah,
And it's
yes,
the first time.
yes.
Have you been with Ukraine Now for a while?
No, I haven't actually. I volunteered with Razom for Ukraine, packing medical supplies, and I also went to the Ukraine-Poland border volunteering as a medic. I'm a registered nurse.
Oh,
And
wow.
Nice.
so I've been in touch with other groups because I plan on going back and doing something else. And yeah, there's other NGOs on the ground that I was in touch with, like Support for Ukraine and EU, and other small ones that just started branching out. So I'm like, where did this email come from? Maybe it's Ukraine Now collaborating with others. I wasn't sure, but great. I'm glad to be on. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, well, thank you for being here and for everything you're doing. It sounds, wow, is all I can say to you.
Yeah, I just need
Does
to get back.
anybody want to, pardon me?
Just need to get back. I'm back in New York now, and I'm like, there's so much more work to do. So that's the
Mm,
plan.
mm, fantastic. Well, hopefully you could make some great contacts here if you don't already have many
Yeah,
there.
yeah, great.
Does anybody want to join me in video? Nobody is forced to if you can't, but if you can, join me. So I'm not the only one. I would love to see you, but I guess
Okay, 1 second.
thanks. Hi, Arthur.
All right, I'm here to support.
Yes, it's great having you here.
And
Mm.
Victoria, have you worked with Ola on the resume side?
With who? With Kolya?
Ola?
Olya. No, I have not worked with her yet. On which resident study?
No, with Razum on
Razom.
the. Yeah.
I packed medical supplies with them for 1 day. And then
Got
on
it.
that day, that's when I received approval to deploy. So I got ready in a week and then went off to the border. And then I got back in early May.
Got it.
Yeah,
We have a very good relationship with Razum. I've known them since 2012 when they invited me as a startup founder from Ukraine to New York on the startup trip. So
okay.
very.
That's hi.
Hi.
How are you?
So nice to see you. Oh, we lost you. We got you
Good.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
This is my first time downloading this on my phone.
You're doing a
Okay.
great job. You're doing a
Yeah.
great job.
I can't stay on for too long because I'm in the middle of working. I'm working from home today doing telehealth assessments, but my next eval starts at 12, so I can stay on probably for like 40 minutes.
Okay, well, that's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, it's an hour anyways, so
Okay.
that's wonderful.
Okay.
Axel, do you want to say anything before we begin?
No, go ahead.
Oh, hi, everybody, and welcome. Glad that you are here. These are community gatherings for Ukraine Now and working in partnership with The Village, an organization that I founded. We're really interested in connecting, in building relationships with each other. This is an extraordinary organization that, as I always say, is really showing the world how and that we human beings somehow can find a way to work together for the greater good. In this situation is obviously the nightmare that is going on in Ukraine. Um, so Victoria, given that you're the first person here, what we usually do is we share, our names and where we are and what brings us here, and maybe a few words to describe yourself. And when I say what brings you here, one of the things that I keep thinking about is how so many of us care so deeply about what's going on in the world, and what gets us to go from caring to doing, from sort of sitting behind our computers and despairing and moving into action. So I'd love to hear a little bit about that. Um, my name is Brenda. I live in Montreal, Canada. I came here because my organization, The Village, brings people from all over the world together to share and weave our stories together for the greater good. So this seemed like a beautiful fit and has certainly resulted for me in some extraordinary experiences with all you extraordinary people. Um, so what brings me to Ukraine Now and the Village is, I think a lifelong desire to bring people together. And I am a writer and a filmmaker and a storyteller. So
Oh,
through
wow.
our stories, through our common humanity seems to be a great route for me. And let's say 3 words to describe myself. For now, a couple of you know me. You know, love is big. I mean, I could certainly use it as, love, love, love. But heartbreak and healing are also 2 words that really describe me and I guess my life. Because we're such a small group, maybe we can go a little further and speak about where we're at right now. And I can tell you guys that I spent more time this morning than I have in a little while reading up on what is happening on the ground in Ukraine. And it has me despairing. And we know there's a lot of great things going on, but there's a lot of, tremendously painful things happening. And it is making me feel more and more inspired to do this work. It's far from over, and we, citizens and governments of the world need to keep up our support in every way possible. So that's me. Victoria, would you like to go next? And if you
Sure,
feel
sure.
comfortable to
Yeah.
share your video, please do. And if you don't, that's okay too.
Okay, I'm sorry. I
You have
I have to multitask a little bit, so I can just listen in and talk for
no
sure.
problem. Yes.
But yes, I've been a registered nurse for almost 13 years now, and I'm based in New York City. And I was born in the Ukraine, and I actually was also a refugee many years ago. So it's a very personal horror for me. What else can I say? I need to go back and help. What I want to start is actually an NGO that's going to specifically focus on assisting the orphans of Ukraine, because there's a lot of them and the numbers are growing. And I've been doing research. I'm still in the brainstorming, reaching out to people and, taking notes phase. And Ukraine actually did have an initiative at the government level to deinstitutionalize the country, because there's so many group homes and orphanages in the hundreds. And eventually, I'd like to also assist with that, like family reunification and helping expand their in-home services if possible. I have a lot of experience in home care, from certifying the home aides to running HR department, to being the director of assisted living wellness department, and also working in the field and things like that. And when I was at the border, I noticed there's so many children, right? These children, they're traumatized, and at least they have a parent or guardian with them to be a buffer for that trauma. And the children that are in country that don't have that are at great risk. As you all probably know, human trafficking is a big problem right now, especially for displaced, vulnerable children and women. And then there's also that period of time when they're leaving the orphanage system, I believe at age 16 in Ukraine. So there's like a transition where they don't have anyone to assist them with, finding a job, getting resources, joining the community. They're at risk for joining either organized crime, prostitution, suicide. all of that has been documented. And right now, during the war, I would like to assist by going back, bringing more medical supplies, critical humanitarian aid, things like that, and working with orphanages inside Ukraine to assist them with, I don't know, maybe they relocated from an orphanage that has been damaged or that has been in a hot zone, towards the west of the country, and now they're living in a converted orphanage that might have disrepair, leaks. It's not really an appropriate environment for children. So I'd like to be able to raise funds to at least make some repairs for the winter. Right, and also get involved in coordinating programs for children through like therapy through art, movement, and music, and assisting in that way. I have much more to say on this topic, but I'm still putting everything together, and I'm in touch with some organizations on the ground that are doing the same thing. Backroads Foundation, they joined a group chat with Razom, which Anna created after I spoke with her on the phone about this plan of mine and everything. And she helps me get in touch with some people. And I spoke with a woman named Shelley, who said she knows an attorney that works with nonprofits, and who else? And then Robert, another volunteer from Razom, also talked to him for a bit about business plans and mission statements and things like that, and just like he was a great sounding board. So yeah, that's in process now, and I'm at home now. I returned home early May from the border, and I went inside Lviv for one day, and I noticed the conditions, as in Poland, in Przemysl, there are many volunteers, there's lots of aid, there's lots of help, but I noticed as soon as you get inside the country, it's not, there's help, but not as much, not as many people are going in, the situation's unstable. And what else? Yeah, any advice or insight or suggestions regarding helping the orphans of Ukraine? Please.
Yeah,
All
let's
ears.
talk.
Let me know. That's my
let's connect.
listen.
Let's connect after this call. I'll try to shoot you an email. If you can DM me here on Zoom email, just so I have it here, or you can also send your phone number. I can text you.
I will.
But we have some contacts, and the situation with orphans is extremely, extremely sensitive, just because everyone wants to help them. Not everyone knows how to help them. And that causes a lot of chaos and lack of coordination. So yeah, I'll connect with you on that. Thank you so much for trying to do this work.
Great, thank you. Do you think that it's a good idea in general, or would you need to hear more?
I do think we need a little bit more details. We have a couple of organizations that deal with both orphanages and missing orphans, and I've observed unaccompanied minors come to Mexico trying to cross into United States and being detained by CBP. So it's
no, that's not something that I would want to be involved in.
Exactly.
Any adoption. My goal isn't to take the children out of the country or anything. My goal is to my main goal is to make sure that my dream is that each child has a family and doesn't live in an orphanage, and at least while they're in that orphanage, that they have a good environment to live in. I think that children should be in their communities.
Let's connect after this call.
As much as possible, that being in their community is best for the kids as they grow. But yeah, let's talk more.
Victoria, wow is all I can say. Just I'm deeply, deeply moved by your efforts, by your strength, and by your vision. I think Arthur is the best person possible. He's the founder of UkraineNow, so to help you. But I would definitely encourage you to keep coming back to these meetings, because once they start really to kick off again, there's lots of people that you can meet here who share some of your vision.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I
I'm-
just,
I think what I'm gonna do is initially make contact with a group that's already there, and then just join them on the ground and see what's going on, and then assess the situation from there, because it's difficult to do from here. You know, just being on the edges isn't enough. So
yes, yes,
that's
and
exactly.
if possible, to work all of that out in advance, because I've been hearing more of people who go and who are sort of disconnected when they get there, even though they
Yeah.
sort of connected with people, but try and make sure that you've got some really solid plans,
Yeah.
because it's pretty chaotic, as you know,
Yeah. And changing.
Yes, yes. Hi, Veronica. Great to see you. Welcome.
Hi. Likewise. Thank you so much.
So, Angie, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh, sure. I'm in Orange County, California, and I'm just interested in your Ukraine Now efforts. And I was trying to see on the website what I could do to help here. And it looked like there was a lot of activity at the border of Mexico and California. And so I have a ton of clothes and coats. And I was thinking, well, maybe I could donate some clothes and coats. And so I really just joined to see what I could do from where I'm at. I can't really travel there, but I'm just listening and learning today. But thank you so much for allowing me an opportunity to listen and learn.
Wonderful. Does anybody have any thoughts for Angie?
So just to quickly respond, Angie, Tijuana border was closed last month. So right now there's still some very, very limited amounts of crossings happening for people that got stuck in Mexico. And most people moved to Mexico City, where they're awaiting and processing through Uniting for Ukraine program with sponsors. So the way you could potentially help is check out our website, u4u.com.ua, which is where you can sign up as a sponsor if you would like to do that, or spread it to people that are willing to take that responsibility. So that's kind of the ideas that I have. And also I can invite you to the group in Orange County that helps with the housing. There are so many families that are left without, any kind of support, because unfortunately, the U.S. government is not fast enough to build that support system. So Ukrainians are at mercy of Americans and Ukrainian immigrants, and there is a very strong group of people in Orange County working through that, and also even settling people in Los Angeles. So we just found a house for one of the families in Long Beach area, and basically a real estate investor from Orange County was willing to give us the house while it's vacant. So
that's
lots of
awesome.
good things
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, thank you so much. I will look into all of those. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thanks, Angie. Okay, Katy, would you like
You can
to?
call me Katie. My name is Katarina. Yeah,
Oh,
nice to meet you all. Yeah, so could be the next. So what can I say about myself? So I'm also originally from Ukraine, came to Austria, living in Vienna 10 years ago, since already 10 years ago, and some product owner working here. And since February, my life changed a little bit, as for all of Ukrainian people. So I'm hosting right now the whole family from Ukraine. And since the first day, I'm helping the Safe Life in UA, the organization in Ukraine. I was helping remotely to find the medicine that could be transported there, the first aid kits, different materials. I was also driving it to the border in Poland, between Poland and Ukraine. Also volunteering locally. I'm part of a volunteering organization in Vienna. Frankly to say, right now, the amount of collected items that people are donating, it's reducing heavily since already a couple of weeks. So I joined, I sent in, my documents to this organization to check how I can be helpful, either locally in Austria or remotely. I know German language, so I can easily support search in this language for anything if necessary. So yeah, just open for any kind of help that I can do.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I can only imagine how difficult it is for you. And you know, something that I've been thinking about recently and really from the beginning is compassion fatigue. I don't know if you've heard of that expression, and I worry about that at a certain point, people, you know, just get tired. And it's really up to us to get creative and find ways to keep people on board helping. Thank you for everything that you do. It's beautiful. Katerina, as your name.
Thank you.
Victoria, hi. Welcome
Hi.
back. Hi.
Hi. Thank you. It's very strange to be back. I need to go back. I'm not adjusting very well back to life in New York after coming home from the border, to be honest. Compared to what I was able to do there versus what I'm doing now here. You know, I'm a home care nurse. Going from hundreds of people a day to a little bit of people a day and refreshing the news every few minutes is just horror. You know, because Ukraine is also my native country. So it's actually easier being there than far away and being able to take action and be on the ground and, you know, be with the people and at least help them and, you know, in any way that is possible. So yeah, I just need to get back. I'm brainstorming. I think I'm gonna be heading back in June. I don't have dates set, but that's the plan.
Did you hear the other Victoria speak? I wonder if you, as a healthcare worker, Victoria Sadkina.
Sadkina, yeah.
Sadkina.
Sadkina, yeah. I'm a registered nurse. Yeah, I was working with the Global Disaster Relief Team at the Premishal border for like a bit over 2 weeks. We were running a clinic 24/7. We treated everything literally from animals to the elderly. People were coming in with their pets and their pets were having like asthma attacks and they had like wounds and they needed eye drops, like the dog needed eye drops. And one veterinarian was like evacuating even like snakes. And we had snakes in the back room and there were like newborn infants that needed care, elderly people that couldn't walk, but all the care was there. And since that team was there in the beginning of March, they came early. There were so many people in the center when they first arrived that you like literally couldn't drop an apple in the crowd. Like thousands of people in there, every bed packed, people sleeping on the floors in the hallways. But as you know, the organization increased and the flow of refugees decreased, a lot of people started heading back in country. There's just not as many needs at the border right now. So when I go back, I want to get set up in Lviv and connect like with an orphanage there or another organization that's like working with an orphanage nearby and, you know, start helping out. Oh, I was also able to bring about in 1 week, $4,000 worth of donated prescription medications. And then this team paracrew, they were able to deliver that into European hospitals. They like sent pictures with the doctors holding the meds. And I was like, yes, thank you, it made it. And then other teams support for Ukraine through EU. They helped deliver IFAC supplies that I brought to the East. And then other medications like OTCs, over-the-counter meds like Tylenol and, you know, tests, other things like that stayed in the aptieka. And then there was another midwife that I connected with. She's an English midwife and she speaks Polish. So she's there now on the ground, helping new moms and babies and bringing in aid. And they just stopped by the clinic and they were like, hey, we need things for pregnant mothers and for like some rape centers in Ukraine. So we put like bags together and sent them off. And so yeah, I met so many people. It was just a very, very busy environment and met a lot of people doing good things. And learned a lot about the supply chain and logistics and how things work, but that's not really my expertise. You know, I'm a nurse with experience in management, but there's a lot to learn. So I'm really glad I connected with some great people. It's good to meet you all.
Victoria, it's so extraordinary to hear you talk and describe what is going on. I wonder if you could comment. You said so many great people. What is it that you see? Like, how are these people? What's making them do it? What's making you do what you do?
Huh. I don't know. It could have been me.
Victoria, the other
It is me.
Victoria? It is you. The other Victoria, any thoughts? What is making, you come from Ukraine, okay, that's certainly a good reason, but just in all of your experience.
Nurse. Yeah, I'm a nurse. I speak the language. I have a lot of experience with mental health care, and I'm in a position where I can help a lot. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I just have to do it. I don't know. A lot of it's driven by emotion, I'll admit. And I don't know. It helps me to help. Charity is therapy, you know. Can't just sit home and watch the news. And the people need help.
Yes. Yes.
The children, especially. Oh my God, they have no parents to tell them that, hey, these bombs are just firecrackers, and there's like people, trying to snatch them at the border. There's so many things going on, and people need, tourniquets. We need tourniquets. Where do we begin?
Yes, I hear you. Thank you. Tom, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Okay. Are we I don't know, it's not our place to keep it. Is somebody keeping a list of two things? All of the orphanages in Ukraine and or on the border with Poland? And do we have a database of the young people? I think somebody said 16 years old, which is really striking to me. It's very young, that are being let out of or released from the orphanages. Is there a list of those two things? And if I had to pick one list, it would be the list of the kids who are being released from the orphanages, particularly the girls.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that, where the list is, but I will find out. Does anyone know?
Arthur, might you know, or Veronica, might you know of a list of orphanages and the children being let go at the
I've seen some lists like that, just like spreadsheets shared around, but we never engaged in kind of publicizing the list of such sort because it's also sensitive information, and there are a lot of kind of like cowboys that jump into Ukraine to evacuate orphans and get them into even more dangerous places.
Well, I just have a few ideas on. Well, first of all, our tour, this group that you have set up is remarkable. Okay, for two reasons. A, the logistical foundation. I think somebody also mentioned logistics is critical, and I think we're well positioned because of your technological expertise and just the network that you've set up to really make an immediate impact in that area. So even if we didn't have their full name, maybe just their first name, but maybe we can just start off with a number of kids that are in that category. Two categories: A, in the orphanage, three actually: A, in the orphanage, B, that are about to be released, and C, those that have been released within the last 6 months, say. And if we could get those three buckets, that would be a very good start. And then we can maybe come up with a scheme to stay in touch with them. That's number one. And Victoria, I think I'm pronouncing that name, the nurse.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah, Victoria.
Did I hear you say you were in New York?
Yeah, I'm in New York, in Riverdale.
Okay, so you're up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
So I'm a consultant and I'm in Far Rockaway every week.
Okay.
So
Okay.
why don't you and I plan to have, I'm a diner rat. I live in diners, so maybe we can have a cup of coffee at a diner and I'll pay for the coffee. And if you want a hamburger,
Sounds
I'll
good.
buy you a hamburger. So,
Burgers and coffee. Okay. Tom,
Wonderful.
right? Tom
yeah,
Desmond. You're in
Tom
Far
Desmond.
Rockaway?
Yeah. Yeah, my number is
In Far Rockaway.
617-480-8146. 617-480-8146. Just text me. I think you and I are on the same page. I think we can make an immediate impact with these kids.
Okay. And you said you're a consultant?
Yeah, I turn companies around. I'm an accountant by training.
Okay,
I have
perfect, because that's not my skill set at all.
I have no lineage to
Consultants
Ukraine.
and
I just have a
accounting.
lot of outrage going on. That's why I'm on,
That's
that's
perfect.
why I'm on this call.
Consultants
But
and
we can, I
accounting
think we can make an immediate impact with these
with
kids.
businesses. Okay. Okay.
So, and yeah, if we, I
Okay.
think if it's possible to get that list in those 3 buckets, we can hit the ground running on that.
Okay. I know that there's an organization that is helping kids that are in that transitional stage 16 and up. I can't think of their name now. It's in an email or a message thread. I'll look into it and I'll check in with them.
Yeah, well, let me give you what I'm thinking, okay, right out of the gate, and then I'll shut up. Get the names of the kids, right? And we'll set up a Zoom call with them, no matter how many there are,
Okay.
particularly
Zoom
the ones
call
that are about to
with
get
the
out.
kids. About to get out.
And
And
then
I
we'll
also want to
start-
find
we'll
out, there
start
might
looking
be,
after them. We'll start looking after them.
I also want to find out, I'm not on the ground right now. I'm home in New York. Due to the martial law, have any of these rules changed? Because there's a war. Is Ukraine actually releasing the 16 and up year olds out of the orphanages, or is their stay being extended? And in any place, I'm sure some of them might be doing that. I think one of the Jewish orphanages keeps the kids until they're 18. But I'll find out more.
Yeah, and then at least we'll make them part of our club here, okay? And we'll track them
Zoom
through the
call
Zoom
with
call.
kids to be released. Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay, and
Victoria, you got his phone number?
yeah, 617-480-8146, and then
Yeah,
somebody
just
messaged
text
me
me
another
and we'll have lunch next week, okay?
Okay, sounds good. And then somebody else messaged me a number.
Victoria, was that you? The other Victoria? Was that you who?
UkraineNow. I got a number from
That's
UkraineNow.
Artur
Who is
Killian.
that? Oh, that's Artur.
that's-
Oh, okay. Artur
Sorry,
Killian.
I forgot that I was under the team account.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so and then what's your role or expertise or
I'm a founder of UkraineNow.org.
founder of UkraineNow.org? Okay.
He's the boss.
I think I looked at your website actually, because that's all I do now. I Google refresh the news and look at what other organizations are doing. I think I read your page. Okay, founder of UkraineNow. Great.
Okay.
And are
So
you in
Victoria, let me give you one piece of advice. You got to back off the TV, okay?
back off the TV? Oh, it's really a nightmare. I
You can't-
I
I've
watch
been
this
doing
news
that,
and I want
okay?
to hop on a
Let-
plane now. I can't
Yeah.
watch the news anymore. When I was on the ground, I was just working like a donkey and helping people and just sleeping so well at night. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm really
I
glad
mean,
to connect with you all.
you, Victoria, I mean, I think in both Victorias I'm speaking to now, you've both expressed some similar feelings, and I think that this feeling, like for so many people, is of helplessness, right? There's all this shit going on, and we can't make it go away. But you speak so beautifully of like sleeping well. This is not the first time I've heard someone say that. Sleeping well in a war zone, because
Can you imagine?
Yeah, it sounds so crazy, but
So the other Victoria is from New York too, right?
yes.
Well,
I'm
then you
Victoria
join
from
us
New
as
York.
well,
There's
right?
another Victoria from New York.
Victoria Yaka, is that you're in New York, correct?
I have not spoken yet. I am not in New York.
I'm sorry.
I just happen to be another Victoria that's on this call.
I
Oh my
apologize.
God. Wow.
I,
Welcome.
I am a healthcare worker. I've popped in on the calls a few times. I've been running a lot of supplies and local manufacturing and stuff in Ukraine.
Well, I didn't want to
but
exclude you from the coffee and hamburger. That's why I asked. I'm sorry.
Victoria, I'm so sorry. It's actually my mistake because when I called out Victoria, I meant you, Victoria Jaka, and the other Victoria spoke, and I thought, wow, they sound so similar. They must be connected. Okay. Oh God. Ah. Okay. Victoria Jaka, is that how you pronounce your name? Would
it's
you like?
Jaqua. It's aqua with a J in front.
Okay, Jaqua. Beautiful name. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you? Why are you here? What brings you here?
Um, well, I've been coming to the calls, I think since April or the end of March,
Yes.
and I haven't dropped in a while. Just to give you guys an update. It's hard to update everything. I'm just one person, medical community lead for open source medical supplies, running our Ukraine response and building networks. I primarily support local manufacturing in Ukraine and identifying medical manufacturers that need funds so we can get supplies to the front more quickly. Today, I'm working on a little presentation about Krovospas, which is a Kyiv company making hemostatic bandages since 2015. And they need some funding to purchase vacuum bags so they can produce 200,000 bandages. I would say this is probably the most critical need right now. It takes a long time to import, and when something can be made in the country, it just makes everything so much faster. And they donate all of
Yeah.
their product to the front.
That's great.
Also, I have a connection with someone who makes external fixators, an enormous operation out of Kyiv. Those are all donated to the front. And I personally bought 10 sets to be sent to a hospital in Dnipro. I primarily do not run commercial supplies. That's not my primary operation, but I get pulled into it. And I personally got over 12,000 euros of supplies to a hospital in Dnipro that nobody was paying
Wow.
attention to.
Wow.
So that's kind of been my baby. And because of that, I've made a lot of connections. In terms of tourniquets, I'm trying really hard to get the tourniquet situation solved. There's an unbelievable amount of complexities with that. I do know that NAR is not going to have any more product until August. This includes IFACs and tourniquets. So I'm working with a Canadian group, GLIA, which has an open source design that they're looking to get injection molded. A lot of complexity around that, but I'm supporting that operation because we have connections into Ukraine and the testing centers. I also continue to work on demining operations and building teams and collaborations. This is kind of a longer term project. Immediate needs to get equipment to the demine teams. They can be purchased now from commercial sources, but also set up decentralized manufacturing for robotics and drones that keep NGO funding and demine funding within the country to create jobs and make sure that when NGOs leave, that we have an infrastructure in place that is going to continue the work at a faster, less expensive, and more locally supportive way. And that's just skimming off the top of what I'm working on.
Victoria,
You're working on some really big things. Wow.
wow.
That's amazing.
You are a powerhouse. You are an incredible, incredible powerhouse. How impressive and inspiring what you do is. so glad to have you here and hear your voice and get a little bit of an update. I wonder, I can't help but zero in on the personal now and how you feel about the work and about what's going on and about your own drive to be of service.
I mean, I did this during COVID. I worked all of 2020 in this regard through OSMS. So this is where I feel comfortable. I find it very easy to talk to anybody, identify need, identify network, and just immediately zero in on like triaging the situation. You know, what is the most urgent need now? What is the longer term project? Because when you take care of immediate needs, like sending the stuff to the place tomorrow, and you talk to those people, those are going to be the same partners that are going to help you with longer term projects. Because your ability to get the right response and know the right people gets you a lot of street cred, because you're the person that can get something done. And you know, I can make a phone call and I can start moving something. And I'm one person in the United States on our computer. There are so many grassroots organizations, so many people that have come together that are the organizations, you know, drivers everywhere. You know what that is. There's so many people working hard. And a lot of it is me just finding those people. In terms of how I feel, I honestly have gone part-time at my job to work on this more, to put more time into it, because I think this deserves a lot of attention. And there's an infrastructure and a pattern of response happening in Ukraine that I think is something that needs to be nurtured, and it can be a good model for other organizations. I'm a strong believer in supporting the people on the ground who are already doing the work, and local manufacturing, local people making things. We have to keep the money inside the country. We have to help them create infrastructure. I'm very passionate about that.
So good for their economy.
Yeah. And maybe you should go for that hamburger and coffee with Tom. Because
Yeah,
when
for
Tom
sure.
first started coming to these meetings, he said, right, Tom, you wanted to help the small businesses in Ukraine. That was your original vision that I remember hearing.
Yes, yes, it's very important. And, you know, at some point, Victoria, if you, like I mentioned, I turned companies around, particularly middle market companies, manufacturing specifically. So reach out to me anytime on cash flow models, logistic issues, personnel, anything to do with manufacturing. I'll put my firm behind you. You know, I don't like it. You hit the nail right on the head. We got to keep the money in Ukraine. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and so you got my phone number, so just text me.
Do I?
And
I didn't have my pen in my hand.
yeah, 617
Okay.
480
Mm-hmm.
8146, and I'll send you my website. But the bottom line is, don't let anybody go out of business until you talk to me.
Yeah. Well, the wonderful thing about Ukraine is they have a lot of inbuilt infrastructure, and these people can make anything, they can move anything. They just there's so much tech and innovation and I'm just astonished. Every time I turn around, they have a solution to something.
No,
So,
there's plenty of Ukrainian geniuses. I've been meeting a lot of them over the last 2 months, and our tour is one of them. But in the end, it's all about cash flow.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Especially for the medical based ones right now, because they're donating all their product. I mean, there's going to be for quite a while, there's going to be a need for donation so they can build up their infrastructure. And the two big ones that I'm supporting are the external fixators, which are atrociously expensive to
Yeah,
import.
especially the neuro
Right.
fixation ones.
Exactly. And the hemostatic bandages. Those are my two passions right now to get them money.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear you talk right now. That
So
Victoria's
it's all
Unite.
about negotiation too, okay? So I don't want to chew up the whole call, but it's about negotiation, and I can help you with that. You have to be able to negotiate with people.
Sounds like a great team forming. Samim, you wanted to speak. Hi, welcome.
Hi, I'm not sure about my audio. I'm in a park here with the kids, so I'm sorry about the background noise. It's really awesome to hear you guys talking, and I want to say today is Victoria Day here in Canada, so there you go. That's what's going on. And Tom, what you mentioned is 100% correct. The funds have to remain in Ukraine, have to be used in Ukraine. And what we have identified is that there's a lot of resources available, but there's not enough funds to purchase them so they can distribute. So, and I'm here because I believe that if there is, the reason why I believe we are here, because you were asking, Brenda, like why? The why is, I think there's two reasons. One is that we have something to offer, and also we are here to see if somebody else needs something that we can offer, that we can help with. So sometimes we need help with something, but also there's something we can help in exchange. And from my side, we have a program that we can enable any institution in Ukraine, if they need to raise funds quickly, to purchase equipment, to order certain medical supplies, please reach out to me, connect with me. And my email is Samim, my first name, at centigram.io. Or if you can't remember it, just go to centigram.io and contact us and send a message. We can set them up quickly on our app, and then people can purchase the 8 packages anywhere around the world, and the money will be wired to them. And we don't charge any fees for that. So the money is directly going to the organization, so they can use it right away in Ukraine. So it's a one way around this money corridor issues and difficulty of collecting funds. They can use Centigram if they want to. Just wanted
Sorry,
to jump and say that.
Sorry, it's centigram.io.
Yes, I will put it on the chat as well.
I just did.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And Samim, this will support manufacturing as well.
Yeah, so any businesses that really need funds to arrive to them so they can make certain orders or purchase things, but it has to be related to the situation of Ukraine, has to be related to aid. It's not just because they're running out of business and they want to raise money to continue running the company. It has to be directly clear where this is going to go to, because we will ask for documents and confirmation of who's going to doing what. But once they have that, we can add their gift card, let's call it a gift card on our app, where anybody can purchase it. And when they purchase it, the money, we will wire it to the bank account of that organization. So they can then use the money wisely within the country instead of scrambling around looking for funds.
That's
And
fantastic.
There's no fees involved also.
No, we know if this is humanitarian, the last thing we want to do is fees. They might be currency exchange, but that we cannot control, because if the money is raised in Canada, now they receive it in euro or something, there will be an exchange in currency, but that's out of our control.
Thank you, Samim. Your organization is so beautiful. Samantha, would you like to say a few words, maybe introduce yourself? Samantha? Hi.
Hello. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, my name is Samantha Mpof. I come from Zimbabwe in Southern Africa. I just recently joined the UkraineNow So this is my first meeting. So I'm happy to meet you all. So yeah.
What brings you here? What inspires you to join us?
Okay. What inspires me to join is I have a passion to help. So I studied social work at school. So I would like to experience something different and learn some new skills through volunteering, right? Even if it's not something that is along social work, but it's still okay. I would like to do something to help. So yes.
Wonderful. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much for your desire to serve. We haven't had
You're welcome.
many people from the continent of Africa, and it's to me extra special to have you here.
Serious. Thank you.
Yes, and there's so many humanitarian crises from the past and now in the present. And Ukraine has, fortunately had tremendous response from the world. And we really want to use this as a model for how people can respond to every humanitarian crisis. So it's really great to have you. Oh, you were there for a minute and we lost you.
Yes.
Uh, it's
Just to see
really
my
great to
face.
have you. And I encourage you to come
Okay.
back because you're going to meet a lot of amazing people like yourself
Thank you.
who want
Thank
to
you.
be of service. So thank
Thank you.
you. Veronica, did you want to share anything? Tell us how you're doing, working so hard, doing such amazing things for Ukraine now and the Ukrainian.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Veronica. Yeah, it's been a really crazy week for me because I went to visit my Ukrainian friend in Dublin a few days ago. And today I had a call with Chris from UkraineNow team who helped me set up the emails. So it's like a good news for you, Brenda. And he's actually from Ireland. So we had a really nice chat with him about this. And honestly, I didn't know that Ireland does a lot on a governmental level to help Ukrainians. And it's like really amazing because they have the monthly social payments, they have a lot of flags everywhere around the city. And just people were so nice and it made me feel like home, even though I've never been in that country. So it was pretty crazy, pretty productive, but really heartwarming time. So yeah, just like the thing that came to my mind that I wanted to share. So really nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I love acts of kindness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Moments of beauty. And we can build on these moments, by you had the experience and you saw something that made you feel good, inspired and uplifted you. You're seeing people, Irish people and the government supporting Ukraine. And by telling us, it makes us feel good and uplifted. And so it spreads, right? So this is the vital importance of sharing the good things that happen, the ways in which we help each other and support each other. This is what this ailing world needs more than anything, is to be inspired to help each other. And
Exactly.
I'm so inspired by this organization, so grateful. And yeah, what a joy to be with you and to hear you all speak and to feel your desire to help. Wow. Did somebody, okay, so Angie, you want to know how to connect with the Orange County group. Um, so why don't you send Arthur an email? And are you on the Slack channel, Angie? No. Okay. So
No, I'm not.
did you get Arthur's email address? It's in the chat. Should be in the chat, I think.
Let's see. I don't see. I just see the email address for Samim.
Okay, so I think it's Arthur at UkraineNow.org. Is that correct, Veronica?
Yeah. Ukraine.org.
Thank you.
Yeah, so there it is. Angie, I just put it up. So it's Arthur, but it's without an H. So be aware of that.
Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you, guys. You know, if you would permit me, I discovered a poem that maybe we could end this gathering on, and I'm just going to read it to you. It's written by a Palestinian American poet named Naomi Shihab Nye, and it's called Kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. Feel the future dissolved in a moment, like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all this must go, so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride, thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you. How he too was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to it till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows, and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore, only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to gaze at bread, only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. So remember kindness, please, and bring it back to us, and let it and see the kindness in yourself, and spread it around as you're doing. And have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a beautiful poem.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you,
so
everyone.
much. Thank you.
See you on the next call.
See you on the next call.
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. So great to see you.